Hi Elim Hope Church kids, it's Steve, and I'd like to talk to you about the emotion of grief. Now, grief is to do with reacting to a loss of something that's very important to us. So that might be a loss of a friend, a family member, a loss of freedom, and it's something that maybe you haven't encountered before. Particularly during this time of lockdown, we've lost contact with people who we see every day, and maybe we see them on Zoom or we see them on a video, and it causes us to feel that deep sadness where we sometimes find it difficult to express and to deal with. Now, it's not wrong to feel grief. In fact, it's quite healthy to feel grief, and how you express that will be in different ways. But it's important that you do express grief to maybe a loved one or to somebody who you can trust. But the best person to express that deep sadness is to God, because God is described a God of comfort, and to be comforted is something that we all need when we're going through times of deep sadness, where somebody listens and is able to be there with us. And God is a Father who comforts us, who wants to go through the experience with us. Now, somebody in the Bible who experienced grief, a loss of something, was a guy called Nehemiah. Now, Nehemiah was somebody who in the Old Testament heard from God and was there to speak what he'd heard from God. Now, for Nehemiah, it was a loss of not being in Jerusalem, because the Israelites had been moved out of Jerusalem and they were in a land that they didn't want to be, and Jerusalem was in a really bad state. It says in Nehemiah 1, the words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah, and Nehemiah 1 goes on to say, my brothers came with a certain men from Judah, and I asked them concerning the Jews who had escaped and survived the exile, what was happening in Jerusalem. And they said to me, the people there who had survived the trouble in Jerusalem were very upset, and the wall of Jerusalem had been broken down and its gates destroyed by fire. So something really bad had happened, and Nehemiah felt a deep sadness because it's where he came from. It was his home, and now he was somewhere he didn't want to be. And so he expressed his sadness through tears, through sharing with those around him that deep sadness. So when you experience that deep sadness, maybe you experience that at the moment, it's important to talk about it, because it's a process that you need to work through with a parent or with somebody you trust, and express it to God together in prayer. Talk to God about it. Talk to him about how you're feeling, because God knows all about you. He knows how you feel, but it's important to talk about it rather than bottle all those feelings up. Otherwise, this might happen. Look, this person's feeling sad. Well, what's going to happen? You know, he's like, it's been bottled up, all his feelings, and then suddenly, pop, we explode. And then our emotions are all over the place. We can feel angry, we can feel frustrated because people aren't listening. But if we take time to say, look, I'm feeling really sad, so don't bottle the feelings up. Express how you are so you don't feel like exploding just like that prop did. Okay, so if you are needing to talk to somebody about how you're feeling at the moment, that deep sadness of grief, then email Gemma or speak to your parents or whoever's looking after you. But make sure you do speak to somebody, because it's so important, and may take time, may take longer than you realise to get over that grief, but it's quite healthy, because through that process ultimately God is there with you, walking through the process, sharing with you his love, and that he's always there for you and he will never leave you, because he loves you too much to leave you as you are. But he wants to bring you out of that grief so that you can be in a place where you are experiencing joy again. Okay, hope that helps. God bless. Bye.